Alright, hi, what's up? So today I'm gonna tell you, yes, you, watching this right now, you're special, I love you. I'm gonna tell you how to get a legendary in Brawl Stars. And if you follow my tips, then you should expect to get a legendary definitely faster than before at the least. But trust me, you're guaranteed to get a legendary at some point, especially if you follow all my tips in this video. So make sure you watch until the end because I have some juicy ones. So before we get into it, let me explain something that a lot of you watching this probably don't know. So I want you to open Brawl Stars, go to your shop, click on a box, and then click the eye in the corner. This screen right here shows your chances to get any kind of brawler. And mine right now is actually grayed out because I have all the brawlers in the game because, you know, I did all these tips. Now, but seriously, you should see a ton of stats right there, and the one that you want to look at is the legendary one, of course, because that's why you clicked on this video. And the legendary one should be the lowest, but if it's actually higher than the mythic one, then you're actually unlucky. There's unlucky, but then there's you, who has a better chance to get a legendary than a mythic, and you still haven't gotten one. That's unlucky. Alright, so moving on. Every box that you ever open and you don't get a legendary from, it actually makes your chances to get a legendary higher in every other box that you open. But it increases it very slightly. You'll only notice a change after you open like 10 or more boxes. It might go up like 0.001% or something like that. But trust me, as you're opening boxes, it'll slowly rack up, and eventually after like a month or so, it should be up a lot. So as long as you're playing the game consistently, you should actually see that number going up quite a bit. But if you actually unlock a legendary or maybe even a mythic, your chances to get another one go down like crazy. They go back down to pretty much 0%, and you kind of have to work your way back up to get it to where it was before. And the only way to do that is to get more boxes. And of course, later in this video, I'm going to tell you guys the best ways that you can get more boxes, which of course results in you getting higher chances to get a legendary. But yeah, Brawl Stars really doesn't want you unlocking legendaries quickly, so they'll literally drop your chances to get a new one once you actually unlock one. And also, if you're new to my channel and these tips end up helping you, then don't forget to subscribe. If this is the first time you're watching a video of mine, then make sure you go check out some more. And if you like Wonder Brad, then you'll probably like my channel. That's all I'm gonna say. So tip number 1. This goes for free-to-play players and for pay-to-win players. Find out any kind of way to get the Brawl Pass, whether that's just buying it or that's saving up gems to get it. Because if you're gonna spend money on this game, that's by far the best thing that you can spend money on. You get a ton of exclusive rewards, you get a ton of boxes that you wouldn't have before, and overall, it is probably the most value thing they've ever added to the game. But one of the most important things is that you end up getting a chromatic brawler for free. And the reason why this is really important is because if you don't get the chromatic brawler from the Brawl Pass, then there's a chance that you could get the chromatic brawler instead of a legendary. Because the chromatic brawler actually has the same drop rate as a legendary in that current season, and it keeps going down until it caps at epic. But of course, every season there's gonna be a chromatic brawler who is a legendary rarity, so you want to be able to get that brawler as fast as you can, so then you don't end up getting that brawler instead of a legendary. But unlike legendaries, the chromatic brawler actually doesn't decrease your chance to get another legendary, so you don't really have to worry about that, but you do have to worry about getting it instead of a legendary, because again, it's the exact same chance, and you could have used that chance to get a legendary instead of getting the chromatic brawler. So getting a chromatic brawler as soon as you can could be really important. And for those of you who don't have the Brawl Pass, I would highly recommend you still do all the challenges for it, because if you actually finish 2 Brawl Passes in a row, then you can afford the next one. And by the time you can afford the 3rd Brawl Pass, the first 2 chromatic brawlers from the other ones are no longer legendary rarity, so at that point you can get that 3rd Brawl Pass, and then you can have that entire season worth of time to use all those boxes and get the chromatic brawler for free, and with that you'll have a lot more chances to get a legendary. But yeah, as I mentioned before, if you don't spend any money in the Brawl Pass and you complete it, you should be getting around 90 gems, and using big brain math, if you complete 2 Brawl Passes, then you can afford the 3rd one. So you can't slack on that, you gotta get all those free gems, so then you can really capitalize on the 3rd Brawl Pass. Alright, so tip number 2, if you're gonna spend money on the game, I would highly recommend not spending the money on just getting a bunch of Brawl Boxes from the shop. For people who can afford it, I would highly recommend just straight up buying the brawler from the shop, and there's a few reasons for this. Firstly, if you're getting a box, there's a chance that you couldn't get the legendary, and you know, that's the majority of the time you would not get the legendary from that opening. And especially for a time like Christmas or your birthday, when most people end up getting iTunes, at least I did in my childhood, that was like the main present. And a lot of people that I know just got iTunes. When people don't know what to get you, they usually just resort to iTunes or Google Play. I don't know if that's the case for you guys, but I think it is. So if you do get iTunes or Google Play that you can spend on your game, then again, instead of buying boxes or anything else, either buy the Brawl Pass, or if you have a lot of gems, then wait for $50 shop offer and straight up just buy the legendary. So not only are you guaranteed to get a brawler from that shop offer, but it also doesn't lower your chance to get another legendary. Like I said before, when you unlock a legendary, it actually lowers your chance to get another one, but in this case, if you only get it from the shop offer that doesn't include a box, then it doesn't count towards that. It actually doesn't lower your chances to get another one at all. So by that logic, you could actually end up getting 2 legendaries in one, because you'll be getting that one guaranteed, and then your chances won't go down, so then you'll overall have a higher chance to get another one. And for any free-to-play players out there, if you're gonna try to save gems, once again, I think it would just be best for you to buy the Brawl Pass. You've already heard about that, but being honest, it would take months on end to be able to afford a shop offer, so I would just recommend not even doing that. It would literally take like a year to be able to afford a legendary, and at that point, you could have already gotten a couple Brawl Passes and had a really high chance to get one in the first place. This one is for all the big boy buddies out there who decide to skip the power play and the championship challenges. I know I say this in the majority of my videos talking about how to get brawlers, but I have a few things to add on to this. Power play is extremely important if you want to get free boxes. At the end of every single season, there's a free mega box and a free big box in the shop. And I say free because star points are actually a completely free resource. You can't buy them at all. So if you can, like if you have a maxed out brawler, then play power play every single time it shows up, which it's always there. So just play it every day if you can. And it doesn't even matter if you win or not, because no matter what, you end up getting a reward because you get points whether you win or lose. But of course, it would be better to win because you get more and then you would get more star points. But either way, all you got to do is play them and try your best, and you should end up winning at least a couple every day. And right there, that's a free mega box and a free big box every month. And to go along with that, you need to push every brawler that you have as high as possible, because at some point, every 5th rank that you get on your brawler is actually free star points, which again, you can use to buy the boxes in the shop. Big brain moves right there. So moving on, I still have to talk about the championship challenge. And even if you're forced to play with randoms, like you have nobody to play with, most people would just not do it. But trust me, you gotta at least try to do it with randoms, because the rewards in that challenge are actually insane. And if you skip out on that, then you're potentially skipping out on a ton of boxes. And overall, it would just be better to at least try the challenge, even if you don't want to go pro at the game or anything like that. I would just highly recommend to do the challenges just for the reward, because as I said at the beginning of this video, every single box that you get really matters towards your legendary drop rate. So every box that you get, every big box, every mega box, doesn't even matter. Just every box that you get that you don't get a legendary in increases your chance to get one later. So if you do all these things and get all these boxes, then eventually you're guaranteed to get a legendary. That's just how it works. Your chances will continuously go up as long as you keep playing the game, and eventually you have to get one. And also, Supercell actually increased the trophy road to 50k, up from 14k, and they added about 30 extra mega boxes to it. So that's definitely another reason to push brawlers as high as you can.
12 seconds later.
Wait, is it really time? Alright, understood. I can't believe I have to do this, but it's bonus tip time. I know, bro, like you weren't expecting this, but guess what? There's a bonus tip. I know, it's legendary. I don't like puns. Alright, anyways, this bonus tip could actually be pretty important for anybody who plays the game, who tries to like play with friends, or somebody who always tries to get a full team whenever they want to play. Let me tell you something really important, alright? Playing with a full team could actually be worse for you. At the most, what you might actually want to do is only play with one friend or like one other person in your lobby, at least for a 3v3 mode. I think it would be best to play with a friend in duo showdown rather than to play with a random, but honestly, I think it's actually better to play with only one friend in 3v3 modes. And there's a big boy reason for this, alright? Allow me to explain. Okay, so the thing is, when you're playing with a full team, you're actually playing against another full team. At least the majority of the time, the game tries to pair you with other people who are in a full team, so then it doesn't go like really unfair where you have 3 people in Discord against 3 randoms who have no communication at all. According to a lot of people, including myself, just from experience, you get put against way sweatier players if you're playing with a full team. That's just how it is, and I think the conclusion here is that if you're playing with a full team, then you're playing against other full teams. But I think that if you're playing with only one friend, then it should be normal and you're not playing against another full team. So at the maximum, you should be playing against like a team of 2 and then a random, just like you guys. But normally when there's another team of 3 people that you're playing against, they are sweaty, and that's just how it be. And most of the time you're going to be playing against people who are way higher trophies than you in that kind of situation, because people who play in a full team are generally trying to sweat and are generally trying to get a lot of trophies, and they're trying to win a lot. I just wanted to throw that in here because a lot of people probably don't even know about that, and I tried mentioning it on Twitter and like in people's live streams and things like that, but I never ended up saying that publicly or anything like that. So if you're somebody who plays with a full team, it might be better to not, and it just might be be better to play with one friend or just play with randoms. And for people who wonder why I don't normally accept requests for game invites and why I don't play in full teams on stream, that's why, because when you do, you're playing against the sweatiest people possible. So yeah, there's a reason why I don't usually accept invites to games. Trust me, you would rather play with randoms than play with me against a bunch of ninja wannabes trying to get the best trophies in Brawl Stars. You're better off playing with randoms. It is what it is. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. So that concludes the bonus tip. And of course, just playing the game, playing brawlers, pushing them, just doing whatever you can, play power play the championship challenge, just all of that. That's all practice, and at the end of the day, it's gonna make you get way better at the game as long as you just keep trying and keep playing. Keep watching tutorials on how to play certain brawlers, just keep learning from pros if you watch them. Overall, keep trying to improve in the game, and as you get better, then you can win more power play matches, you can win more championship matches, and overall, winning more equals more boxes. So I think my best tip here is actually to try to get better at the game and just try to win more, which might sound easy, but at the end of the day, it just takes practice, which might sound too good to be true, but just practice and eventually you will get better at the game. Trust me. I'm pretty sure everybody started out as a bot, so if we're here now, then there's definitely room for improvement. But that's gonna do it for the video. Again, make sure you leave a like if anything helped you, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. If this is the first video that you're watching of mine, then be sure to go check out some other ones because I put a lot of time into them, and that's it. Have a good night, guys.